Hello, everybody. It is I, the art department. I don't know. Nobody's watching yet, so I can say whatever I want. Well, I can say bad words, but I'm not going to, Saya. Now, do not interrupt. Go. Saya, I'm not doing this with you right now. This all of a sudden showing on this edge. Nobody's here. I'm just redecorating the whole set. It's fine. We have a weird section showing right there. Okay, there. I fixed it. Oh, now you can see me in the monitor. Well, that's weird. Daddy's camera must be weird today. Okay. Nobody's here. Did it ping? I don't think it did. It's 6 o'clock. It's the art department live. For 2 minutes, just rambling. Let's see if it hit on Discord. Yeah, it did. Okay, cool. Whatever. Fine. I'll just talk to myself if no one wants to talk to me. I can do that because I'm the art department. We've got some new games opening up. Some Monster of the Week. We also started a new segment called Tea Time. Hi, I'm just singing to myself because no one's watching. But now you're here and I feel self-conscious. Okay! Yay! So yeah, we've got some Monster of the Week campaigns opening up. Matt's gonna do some seminars on how to be a pro DM. You're fine. It's not you, it's me. I'm on meds and I feel horrible. And I was singing to myself because no one was watching. And then I got self-conscious. And it's got nothing to do with you and everything to do with me. Okay. Is there any other news? Matthew? But since you're here, Ace. No, I'm joking. Okay. Let's start the recap. We have 1 spot left for tomorrow's Monster of the Week. What time is it? 2 o'clock. Our time. I don't know what any of your guys' time is, so I'm saying our time. I'd like to point out that I am on 2 notebooks now because I ran out of space on my other one. It's all good. We will start with the recap for Friday night. Dragonlance. Woo. So we had our plan for retreat. And then we were like, we need to call for a retreat because there was an attack that was imminent. And they took someone down and they were trying to kill some people. And we were like, no, fireballs. Everyone, retreat. And so they took an assault on the docks, which was like, oh, I think we have someone spying on us because that was a secret plan. But somehow they knew to come attack us. So it was like, oh no! And then Luca went down, and then the mercenaries went down, and then they killed all of the children, and then Delaney went down, and then Nightmare went down, and then Luca was stable, and then Alex went down, and then Nightmare came up with 1 HP, and then Nightmare went back down. Oh, God, it was stressful, guys. And I personally wrote in my notes, if Dare survives this, I will laugh my ass off. Nope, he's stone! It's the next slide. Because Derek got turned into stone, and there was only one left on the enemy on the field. But then Raven came out and helped us, and then Delaney was stabilized, and then Alex was stabilized, and then Raven stabilized Nightmare. And then everyone came to consciousness, and they were on the boat, and they all had 5 HP, and I was so stressed out. And they even saved Derek, and he returned back to Derek, and he didn't turn into stone. And I'm really glad you guys made friends with him and didn't treat him like an idiot. And then it was like, what do? We have 5 HP, and they were like, we are still going to try to help to everyone to get out. And so everyone was like, we're getting out there. And everyone had maybe 10 HP because aid was thrown up. And they're like, we're going to do it. And then buildings were burning, and they were like, it's a dragon. And then we found out it was actually a machine dragon, and it had operators. So we had to go take out the operators, and Derek is a complete nutterbutt and ran into battle ah! And then Luca was like, ah! Y'all were a bunch of dumbasses, but you were badasses, and it was heroic as hell. And then if nothing else, we knew the town was behind us because we had fishermen jumping off the boat to come help. And then we got an ogre, and we had 2 more idiots that we had to fight, and we were like, And then Luca dead. Yeah, Luca dead. He went out like a champ though, but like now the battle cry is Luca, and I'm all for it. And then Derek took out the fisherman, and then Derek took out the ogre, and the fishermen were taking on the ogre. It was amazing. And then like Derek took out the last person, and we got everyone on the boat, and we like rushed, and we were pushing off. And then like Becklin's second in command made it to the boat, and he was holding Becklin's helmet. So Becklin went down in the battle, and Volgar was in flames. And yes, we learned the lesson that war sucks. And that was Dragonlance. So who knows what's gonna happen tonight? Hopefully you guys get a long rest, because I think at most someone has 10 HP and that's it. Okay. Hello, everybody. And now for Zeldore. We had Rangar's carving. He finally finished it, and I absolutely adore it. And if no one's seen it, just go and watch the screaming, which was just amazing. And Rangar's got a baby. Oh, I'm sorry, it's Rangar's wood, aka honey nut. And he's an acorn. And Bob, Yuri, and Honey Nut are now cousin. And then we met this creepy lady in the woods who had these kids that were all like tranced into the fire, and we're just like, Rangar's Wood, aka plushie toy project for the store. Yeah, I did make a mini for it. Fully admit, I found a grumpy acorn, so you will see that this Saturday. Because I could not resist. Just like I made a Bob Yuri, because I cannot resist. But now I think I have to add wings to Bob Yuri. I don't know. I'll figure it out. And then Sari and Rangar went to visit with a nice lady, and Nala beep slapped Bob Yuri to death with one hit. So Bob Yuri's really squishy, and Nala's really strong. So, and then she woke everyone else up and was like, Mortis, I think they got kidnapped, which was funny. And then Rowan was dreaming of Esme. And then we figured out the children were just like Eurovir, so they're the Asimars. And then it's like, why are the kids like this? Are there brains in the Feywilds? And the lady was like, well, that's oddly specific. And then so we had a giant panther, Big Ben, and giant badgers, Big Ben. The panther, Puravir, and Bacon the boar went to go keep the camp safe while you guys all went to talk to this creepy lady. And then Mortis saw shadows sucking the kids' souls out of their heads, and he was like, nope, we're not okay with this. And Mortis tried to cast sleep on her, and it no worky. And she was all like, hey, you attacked me, my children. And they're like, we just want to know what you're doing. And she's like, no, you attacked my children. You're after my children. You have the count to 3. And everyone was like, well, I guess we're killing her. So we fought the lady, and we tried to kill her. And Mortis thought it was the pot that was causing the problem. So he kicked over the pot and went, poof. And then Eurovir figured it out that it was the flame. So Nala was like baseball slid through the flame to put it out. And then the kids were all like, ooh. And then Nala was carrying around the pot, and she's kind of reviving them. But as soon as she stopped touching them, they wouldn't revive anymore. But Nala's now got this really cool pot that we have no idea what it does, but it's hers now. She is now the owner of it. And then Nala introducing the team was hilarious, because she's all like, oh, this is this person, and this is this person. And then she's like, that's Bib. Yeah, that's Bib. Which was hilarious. And then Sayori tried to fix the door and into the dreams, and put all the dreams into a crystal so that the dreams are safe, because if she had sent them to the Feywild, they wouldn't be safe. And she actually claimed her power, and so her ears got a little bit longer. And now she's the lover of dreams, and she's immune to charms. And so she's turning into our Archfey, which means I might need a new Archfey to pray to, because I think mine's gonna die. And then Eurovir and Nala had this beautiful conversation about hunting and being hunted, and how Nala wouldn't allow Eurovir to get taken by the red dragon. She'd stand in front of it first, which was cool. And then while they're having this whole conversation, Rowan's off to the side, and all is all like, yes, you are destined to be small, which was funny. And then Siri was telling everyone that like all the dreams are gone, but Ben was all like, no, we're Fae and we still have dreams, so the dreams are alive. And then like it was chaos on the way back to camp because they decided to play tag, and my favorite line was Ben going, wait, I have a kid, and Siri was like, so do I, which was a nice lighthearted moment after all that darkness. And they went back to camp, and they brought the children, and they tried to have a second long rest, and we figured out the kids will just sit there like all like wooden and like trance like unless Nala tells them to lay down, and then they'll lay down. Yes, and we should figure out what the cauldron does tomorrow. We hope. Hopefully it like won't be one of those items that we pick up and we forget about for like 6 months, because we've done that too before. But I think we'll figure it out. They are the most behaved kids ever, which is how you know that they are under magical effects. Okay, so Sunday Pirate. They decided to return to town after they lost a team member, and everyone understood. And Wabu found Olga. And so like now our crew is, we picked up some other kids, and so we got a full crew. We have 9 hippies, 9 jacks of all trades, 5 wannabes, and an Olga. Olga has muscles on muscles, which Sorrow likes to hang from. Also, the mini is really cute, and I can't wait to finish painting it. And then we decided we're finally going to race the Charleston. Excuse me. So we did, and we won the thing, but we lost some hippies in the battle. And we also lost Captain Armel, Murkoff, which is fine because you guys like he lasted a lot longer with these pirates than he did on the Monday morning pirates, because we just outright killed him before finding out who he was. We're a little bit more murderous than your crew. And then we stopped and we did some. My throat really hurts. Okay, so we stopped and we did some ship upgrades, and we also fixed our ship from the hit we got from the Charleston. And then we met Nadia, and she was all sad and depressed, and we had to find out why. And that was Sunday Pirates. Sunday the Rock. We went to gather all the people with Cenarium, and we went to go meet the convoy. And we were like, okay, this is cool. And then they started taking our people, and we were like, oh, I unplugged a camera or something, babe. Can you still hear me, guys? Yeah. Baby, I think I unplugged the camera or something. Oh, I just hit it off. Okay, never mind. I didn't unplug it. I'm stupid. No? Yes? Okay. I hit it with my notebooks. Sorry. I'm having one of those days. Okay, so, we were all like, no, you can heal our friend, but then we're taking all these people back with us. We're not playing this game. And so like we got in combat with them, and Lyra was inside of the transport, and like the doors sealed and we couldn't get her out. And so she was like trying to break a crystal inside, and it was like, boom. And then Gabby took down the transport, and it was like, boom. Even worse. And then Arya went down, and then Ogie got Arya back up, and the ham unit was running away from us, and the crystal inside was glowing. And then we got Morgan back finally, and Morgan was very confused. And then the crystal went boom after glowing, and then Lyra could get out of the thing, and we were all like, yay! And it was like, keep the dream alive, but actually it was just keep the chase alive, because we finally took the dude down because he kept running away because he was all pussy. She wasn't in here, I could say it. Okay. And then like we opened one we took the box that they had used to heal Morgan, and we were like, we looked through we got one compartment open, but I think there's several other compartments, and like we have no idea how to use any of it. And like for the bot, like, so we were like, okay, we'll figure it out. We'll go get someone to figure it out so that we can use it and we can turn everyone else back. And then like Arya was like, fine, whatever, no one's listening to me. So she went to go check on the bodies, and then she found like 4 bodies that were like glowing, and they had like fetuses, and like they were feeding off of Petunia and her henchmen, and everyone was like, that's not right. And they're like, well, they're babies. This is what they do. And Gabby had the best line of, it could be sentient spaghetti for all we know. And I love that, because it was like, thank you. Someone says what we're all thinking. which is like, you don't know what it is, but the babies are just hungry. And so like we decided we're gonna split the party. Half the party is going back to the town to get like Blue's song and maybe Gabby's man, because that boy is first husband material. I hope he's not a traitor. But so like we split the party. Half the people are going back. The other people are guarding the Cenarium bodies. Okay. So that was Sunday. Okay. Monday morning, Pirates, which completely has gone off the scales and is no longer following the book at all, except that we're kind of following the book, except we keep adding random things in because that's how we play. We met a contact for we want to make an ether sub, and they were gonna we thought like well they could smuggle us in and then smuggle us back out, and we could steal a sub, which will cost us like 10,000 gold and a favor. We talked with our fugitives that we stole from the last island, and they told us what supplies they needed to make us a portal. So, and we decided we're gonna go after the plant island to do that. And then like we found ether encrusted items. Like we found we needed like to go and get this thing looked at, but we had to go to dragons to do it. We also discussed how gelatinous cubes were the Roombas of the dungeons. Baby, can you see who's playing with the water? Thank you. And then we had an ether storm, which absolutely sucked. We had no sails. The ship was on fire at one point, and we had like nothing to fix it with. So that sucked. And then there were dragons that were flying ships in the ether sea. And then there was all these other little baby dragons and dragonborn. And there were smaller dragons and medium dragons. And they had cannons on their ships as well. So we were like, maybe we should be peaceful. So we were. And then we got to go meet, we met Aaron Cretan, who was hot. He was an ether dragon, and he took us to go see Master Pyre, who is an ancient ether dragon. He was scary. We didn't want to fight him, but we tried to make a treaty with him, and we're like, we'll wipe out our enemies if we need to. And so we kind of made friends with him, and then we were like, okay, well, how do we like really get this alliance? And they were like, well, you have to fight a dragon first to see if you win, and if you're strong enough to like defeat a dragon, then you can be our friend. And we were like, sure, but it was totally like a battle. Like if we backed away or the dragon backed away, we weren't gonna go kill the dragon. So like that dragon hit, and he hit us hard, so we had to shoot him with cannons and then lightning. Yes, we do need a t-shirt that says, for the love of God, use your inspirations. And then like the dragon retreated, so we won, and we healed up the dragon, and I got to swim with it. So we're starting on our plans, and now we've got like this dragons that are gonna help us as well. And we totally have just turned away from being pirates to being a trading corporation, which is fine. And then like we got a dragon on the boat to help us, a dragonborn on the boat to help us, and he's gonna help us make our portal and make our ether sub. So that was Monday morning. So Blue Rose, we decided we were gonna check out the factory of the glint balloons, and we figured out rock versus metal fence equals guards. So that was not a good idea. And we also figured out this party sucks at sneak attacks, or at sneaking, because it was just bad. It was so bad how many people failed to sneak. And then we fought some guards, and Edwin, who's got this vow not to kill, was the only one that killed one of the guards. Whoopsie! And then like, okay, I don't know what it is about you, Jackie, but okay, so as Esme, you killed a dude by breaking his knee. This dude you knocked out by breaking his foot with a bat. Some about your characters that go for like legs and knees and wind up doing lethal damage, I don't understand, but I love it. And then like, so we get inside, and there's like this huge metal whatever that swings back and forth and has the hook, and my brain just went yes, legs and feet are vital organs apparently. But it was a crane. That's the word I'm looking for. Oh my gosh, man, some drugs. pain drugs mess up your brain, guys. But so there was a crane, and we threw Kelly in a grinder, and then like the amount Kelly has come with the weird crap that she's been through, I was half expecting her to be like, I'm in goblin goo, and instead she's all like Kelly's like, I just expect the worst at this point. And then Sparkle, Crown of Madness, the orc that was running it, and was all like, attack Nolan! Oh, it never got to, though, because Nolan was like way far away. And Nolan tried to convince him to be like, hey, turn off the grinder and attack me. And then she mooned him. And I was like, oh, Kelly's wearing off on Nolan a little bit here. And then like Edwin like threw a javelin into the grinder and broke it so it couldn't grind up Kelly anymore. And then we met the cutest little goblins ever, and they had these big old eyes, and they're in the cages, and we had to make wisdom saves against their cute-eyedness. And Nolan was totally compelled to help them. And then Bim tried to take out the rope, but he couldn't get it to break. And then Kelly like climbed up the crane and like took the rope out, but almost also killed Bim, which is fine. And then like everyone needs thieves tools in this campaign because everyone's like trying to break into these cages and no one can do it. And Kelly's like up a crane, like, fine, I'm coming. And then like, we took down the orc and we were like, we got to get proof. And so we found a book that had some writings in it. And we were like, cool, we got proof now. Let's go to this chick's mansion and beat her up. Or was it beat her up? No, we just want to steal her necklace. And then we will let her, face jury. But Kelly and Nolan are both charmed by these cute little goblins. So we're heading over to Lecrae's mansion to steal her necklace. So we're going into heist mode, guys. And that was the Blue Rose this week. And then Monday night, Esme Greater Resto Dewdrop's mom. And we found out that his parents were at the banquet where Nylumia was murdered. Well, Titania was murdered and became Nylumia. But we didn't find out more than that because like the mom pointed at Esme and was all like, you. Which probably means Esme's mom did something naughty. But that's okay. And then like we figured out it was easy to turn off the crystals, but then we have to turn them back on. That means they're also easy to turn back on. And then we heard the singing again, and Goodnight was like, we're just gonna cast a light, because all of the creepy dogs that are like shadow dogs that like just have like 2 legs and really big mouths with teeth, which are creepy as heck still. Carrie said we need a t-shirt that says, for the love of God, use your inspiration. They were bad dogs. And so then we went all the way up to the top, and there were these 3 guards that had like earplugs in, and there was a cage. And I love that was it Palin who was like, I'm gonna use Mage Hand just to yank out an earplug, which was funny. And then like Esme cast Fireball, which got some naughty words from the cage. And then Shauna went to the cage to try to get the person out, and they were like, really, Fireball? And then like she baned everyone, and then Esme tried to use her sensor, but she's still not skilled with it, which is fine. And then it was like everyone came in the room and everyone was in combat, and we found out it's like a high magic room, and then one of them vanished, and then we killed 2 of them, and the third one was hiding, but then we killed him. And then they got Beatet out of the cage, and they met crazy Beatet. Yeah, no apologies for the Fireball. I would have done the same. Because as far as you guys were all concerned, you were going off Goodnight's hunch that like the person in the cage singing was the cause of everything. I wish you guys would have arcana'd that cage, because there was so much magic on that cage just to contain Beatet, and she was so mad to be in that cage. Okay. Anyways, and then like so we found a door because we were trying to find like the clothes. And we figured out only an evil heart can open the door, which I thought was cool. But we broke the door, and then there's like all these clothes piles, and Palin was like, I'm gonna cast light so we can see better, and this big gray bird was all like at him. And then like feeble-minded him. And Palin was all like, hey, yeah. But Esme healed him, and when she healed him, in his voice, he heard the voice of Takesis be like, there you are, my love, and heal him. So we got a little weird love triangle going on there. Or would it be a square at this point? Because it's like Esme, Rowan, and then like Takesis and Palin. Yeah, it's a square. It's a weird square, man. And then we like had a whole discussion of how do we move people through a plant, and it was like, well, we could turn people into a whale or a turtle or T-Rex. And Esme tried to talk to the ball and ask for divine intervention, but it failed, even though we did find out that it's a lot easier for her to contact Takesis than it is for her to contact Palor, which is kind of creepy. But she gave us a wand that has 10 reduced sizes in it. So we did plant growth and forbiddance, and we teleported through plant, and we reduced everyone, and we put them on the backs of T-Rexes. And we saved Dewdrop's whole family, but there was a giant explosion because Crazy Lady forgot that she only had to cast it once, and that when she cast it, it was going to blow up. That's what happens after a year and a half of highly modifying your own memory. You go a little bonkers. And then so like we saved Dewdrop's family, and then like we teleported to like the nice pathway that we were originally on, and we took him to the pool, and like all the collars were like pop, 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 but all his family's like exhausted because we found out the collars were sustaining them. And then so like we like they turned the water, because like the water, there was these statues, and they had vases, and they turned the vases, and like the water started purifying itself, and then it started purifying some of the land. So we probably just pissed off a lot of Shatterkai, which I'm totally okay with. And then it was like, well, we should go through the water to get back. And Goodnight was trying to reason with everyone, but P-Rex, my boy Palin, the T-Rex, also known as P-Rex, jumped through. And wow, man, like half the party is not Fae and half the party has Fae ancestry. But I think this was the night that like the lowest roll was a 27 on whether or not the non-Fae would remember. So y'all remembered everything that happened. And then we were like in the pool, and we were like, how long have we been gone? And Shauna, with her little keen mind, was all like, 2 minutes. And I was sent a message and kind of made a date with Rowan, but we found out they just left. So we're kind of in like this weird paradox time heist thing going on. And then like Artie's house is now in Coast and Crystals, so we couldn't stay there. So we needed a new place to stay. And then everyone was like, oh, Pathfinders are back. And they were all excited, and they set up a giant tent for us so everyone could rest. And everyone's resting. And Esme and Crittler start hearing this little song about the Mother of Sorrows. And they went to check it out. And Critters needed it to be explained to him that the song was about Mother Esme, because he didn't quite get it at first. And like Palin was trying to write down like the thing, but he needs more emotion for it. And Esme got a little carried away with the emotion and started like describing what she ideally wants to happen between her and her mother instead of what happened between Goodnight and his mother. And that is where we ended that. That was a lot, guys. Hold on, I gotta drink more. Okay. The Razgod. So Nylumia sent us into Caracat, and she was always hoping that like there's a victory, and that like he can be redeemed. And she got the name Igwith as the person who slit her throat. And then like we learned about the Tears of Color and a clay gift that has no relationship to a priestess or sorrow or a blue tiefling, none at all. Yeah, I mean, it's not like a daggery knife clay gift that looks exactly like a symbol we saw in some temple or something. No relation. And Shadow did some questioning, and he found out the Shatterkai are no longer gonna do an attack, which good job Monday, because by blowing up a tower, you kind of ruined their plans of attacking. We learned, yes, there is a vestment in Singorn. And then, like, the bad people have or are also seeking investments, we learned. Yeah, it was a horrible idea to let the children resurrect people, but yeah, we, I don't know what you're talking about. I may or may not have started to make a tiefling statue of the Mother of Sorrow. I don't know. And then it was like, Shiny, it's time. And so, like, the kids were, like, out there picking through dead bodies and selecting other kids that they wanted to raise, which was kind of disturbing. And, like, Shiny found Lucky, and he got Marlboro to pull him out, which is, like, on point, because I don't think Shiny could pick up his cousin. And, like, and then there was, like, more singing to Mother Esme, and we got more verses of the song. So it was amazing. It was super creepy, and it was amazing. And then, like, the kids were, like, pouring souls into the body as this, like, weird, creepy funnel. And they dragged Lucky's soul, like, out of a portal with this creepy ass claw and, like, stuck it back in him. It was not creepy at all, guys. How many times did I say creepy in that? It was creepy. And then we did a little bit of a lore drop to figure out who Igwith was. And we figured out she's the daughter of Baba Yaga, which I'm so excited about. Because, like, every time I look at minis for you guys, I always see the Baba Yaga hut. And I'm like, oh, I really want to make the Baba Yaga hut, but I have no reason to make the Baba Yaga hut. And now I have a reason to make the Baba Yaga hut. I don't know if you're going to fight her or not, but I don't care. It gives me a reason to make the hut. I'm so excited about that. I love Baba Yaga. It's one of my favorite things. Okay, Shiny noticed that Lucky has 5 colored eyes now. We found out Igwith is the mother of witches, Baba Yaga's child. She's Natasha of the Dark, the inventor of the hideous laughter. She's the domain of the light, nicknamed Tasha. It all sounds familiar, I'm sure. And that she, like, goes after heart's desire. She was an archfey with the help of Titania. And then, like, Sablina gave everyone a seed of darkness, and only Titania learned how to get rid of it. And so it was like that's why, like, Titania, like, why she tried to kill Titania, but, like, Titania had, like, counter actions in place in case, because she's stupid. And so when she killed her, a little bit of escaped her. Like, a little bit of her essence escaped, and it was black and purple, just like Nylumia, and it, like, locked her away in this prison where she's being punished and forced to wait to be freed. So we're like, haha, sucker. Okay. And then Shiny and Lumia shared all their little lore, and we figured out that's why the Feywilds are kind of, like, in trouble now, is because, like, without Titania, there was no one to really control them or keep them in check. And so, like, it was like, do we talk to Baba Yaga? Should we talk to Baba Yaga? And then, like, we're like, I think we broke Shiny. It was actually, the internet went out, but it was perfect because Shiny, it was right as Nylumia was like, wait a minute, do you think Baba Yaga's the one that wanted the flower? And Shiny was like, and then the internet went out, so it was perfect timing. Thank you, by the way, Josh, for that, because the minute Matt said Baba Yaga, I went, she's the one that wanted the flower? So I'm glad you thought of it too, and it just wasn't me. And I was like, well, who can we talk to? And we figured out it's a week and a day after Monday left. So Shiny tried to send Artie a message, and he didn't respond, but it was, like, really tired, and you heard, like, glass clinking or crystal versus crystal, and Shiny's all like, what if he's trapped or killed? And I started laughing because obviously he is, but Shiny doesn't know that. And then Shiny sent a message to Dizzy, and I adore Dizzy, but yeah, she is meaner when Matt plays her. And it was like, she was all like, oh yeah, just do what you're doing, and he's like, what? Like, it was hilarious. And it was like, how many sendings can we send? Maybe some Mondays, Disney's, and Evil Disney. I think technically Saturday's ahead of most groups, or I'm sorry, Tuesday's ahead of most groups in the timeline. So you'll probably get a message like this week from Disney, from Shiny, just because of the timeline twistedness. And then Shiny sent a message, was going to send another message to Sayuri, and Shiny swear jar. Because you swore again, but it was really funny to hear Shiny say, everything's going to hell. And then like Sari's like, Dizzy didn't quit, like all defensive, which was adorable. And then it's like, there's only one way to find out if there's a vestment. Go look for it. And so like everyone took a long rest. And Lucky thought they were such sweet children. And all I thought in my head was, and another one joins the cult. And another one joins the cult. And then it was investigation time, and we went to the coffee shop, and we insulted the nice lady running the coffee, and she was all like, it's called We Were Just Under a Dragon Attack, they're not the best coffee, okay? Then we let her try our coffee, which is beautiful. And then like, so he was like, well, we can import it into Singorn. And they were like, well, we have no import export. And we're like, oh, I guess we're using divine magic to just, pop coffee over. Now we have Wizard of the Roast and Nicodrana, Singorn, and they're working on it in Rotholm, because Rotholm, you guys met with Nima. So now so I asked Matt, how many do you need to have a franchise? Because technically we have 3 cities, 3 very weird random cities, but we have 3 cities with Wizards of the Roast in it now. And we're gonna name the Dark Roast Derek. Derek developed a side hustle called Elfster, which is a dating app for elves, not a gifting app, which is actually an app in our world, but that's okay. It's a dating app. And Coffee Lady spilled the tea with us and told us about a crazy lady back by Artie's Fall. And Derek don't ask women their ages, but Shiny did like her hot chocolate. But Derek also has a date to go find armor if he survives. And they met Beatet. And figured out she's the one that erased Nylumia's memory, but they're like not sure if she'll try to erase theirs, so they tried to hide from her. And Derek said he would protect us if we helped him get another tooth, and everyone went, no. And so they great arrested Beatet, and now she's not crazy anymore. So they were like, okay, well, what do you know? And she so they did some dish, and they were like, what do you know? And she's like, well, this is what I know. And they're like, you have a vestment. And she's like, yes, I do. And just sliced open her chest and took a vestment out and gave it to them. Yeah. There's a whole storyline behind that. Nobody asked. And I told Matt I need a screenshot of everyone's face when I did that, because everyone was like, what? I'm like, yeah, well, if you're going to hide a vestment from crazy people, where are you going to hide it when they take all your gear? You're going to hide it inside yourself. Anyways, they found out that Keen's mentor, aka father, Atticus, is being tortured, so we want to go save him. But we talked about what do we do with the vestments, and Beatet explained to them that it's a point of reclaiming them and reclaiming the power, like Sayuri did on Saturday, her taking authority and reclaiming and being like, yes, I am the heir to the Archfey, is a way of strengthening the Feywilds, because it's now coming under control again by people. And so Beatet was like, who do I bow to? Nylumia or Shiny? Because Nylumia is the former queen and Shiny's her great whatever. And Nylumia bowed to Shiny, and then Beatet bowed to Shiny. So we all bow to King Shiny, baby. So we're gonna go to the Feywilds and get him his throne back. Yeah, King Shiny versus Queen Dizzy. Is a Fey war incoming? No, because Shiny is not aggressive at all. Shiny's just Shiny's done 1 damage spell. 1. And he's played with this campaign for a good 6 months. So I don't think there'd be a war. I think Shiny and Dizzy would be good friends, because Shiny would introduce Dizzy to pumpkin spice, and Dizzy would introduce Shiny to sprinkles, and it'd be fun. They'd have a great partnership. And then we found out that the vestment that Beatet had inside of her will open up the blue crystal ball surrounding that part where the fight is going on. And so it was like, oh, okay. So we were going to walk through it and fight, but of course we pushed Derek in first, because, that's how we roll. And so we started the battle, part 2 for Singorn. And that was Tuesday night. There was so much lore drop Tuesday, guys. Woo! That is right. You did do the pumpkin spice heroes fight feast. I forgot about that when you guys fought the my pumpkin beholder, which I adore. I have found so many good minis for Saturday, and Matt's like, "Would you stop it?" And I'm like, "No, we need this mini." You guys let me get the stupidest, randomest minis, and I love it. Okay, Pirates Wednesday. We were still in our treaty with the dumbasses. And it was like, well, what will you do if the vamp's coming? And they were like, yeah, that's a problem. Yeah, it is a lot funny when the dragon's on your side. I agree. And so like Matt went back and he met with the old families, and we talked about turning it into a shipping port or a library and having an armory and maybe doing some tourism. And then I love Jajal's like, hey, you guys remember that college that like fell out of the sky that we had no part of? Y'all sunk that library, but whatever. They were like, why don't we make an academy? And I love the idea of an artificer school on Darktoe, because like, you know, you got the Cobalt Soul for the monks, and you got wizarding schools, and you got like all that, but there's no artificer school. That's a cool idea for Darktoe. And then Cal's dad was showing off new materials to people and being like, this is what I can do, and this is what I can do. And he basically told everyone but Cal that he's loyal as long as his son is, which is cute. And then like there's a rumor of a second pirate island, which we know to be true. And we're like, let the pirates be pirates over there, but we won't mention them as part of Darktoe. So like now I think Darktoe is like a mafia front where it's like, no, we're legitimate. But we have this little like side island way over there. And then like I have dubbed Mal Savage the legitimate PK. Because he's gone legitimate, guys. And can we, okay, so I gotta mention this, all right. Mal for not wanting to be captain and not wanting to be the PK. Can we please talk about how damn good he was at negotiating? I am so proud of my boys, my pirate boys. They did so damn good. It was decided that Darktoe will take care of the vamps within a 10-year period. They're afraid of the Krakens, the other people, but it's fine. Steve's got the Krakens, dude. The Krakens are on our side. It's fine. So it was like 2 against 1 because the Marquis were all like, they didn't want to sign it because they wanted to try to like control us. And we were all like, nah, we're good. We got the other 2. You have to agree. And then like we bargained with them. They wanted like 200 units of like the really cool stuff that Cal's dad was making. And we talked them down to 50 units and was like, woo, we did it. No more treaty, guys. We're done with the politics. Well, we are not Mal. Poor Mal. Okay. And then Jajal like got a piece of every cannon, and I love that. They just took a little brimstone off of every cannon, so if they need to find them, they can be like, boink, wee! And I got a bone to pick with Beaten, because why was he so nice to Thola, and he's such an ass to his sister? That's okay. And then, like, Cal and his dad had their little, like, smith off, and, like, Cal's dad said it's arrow crystal, and Cal was like, oh, it's glass steel. And they were like, fine, just change the name that it's been for thousands of years. And so Cal made like this shield and this with the crystal and a sword. And his dad made these like armor gauntlets. And Thola voted for his dad, which was shady, but also really funny. And then it was like, let's just give Cal an even bigger inferiority complex, everybody. And then Thola's like, okay, next challenge, we're going to do Calcum or something like that. I don't remember what it was called. Or Calcum. I don't know. I can't read my own handwriting. And Cal was like, we'll just keep doing this until I die because you'll have to bury me. It was like, wow, okay, Cal needs to reproduce. And then Jajal's spy network, we worked on a little bit. And he went and met with the lady and they had a little tea party. And they got some information, but not a lot. And then he was all like, you need to like take this woman to Nicodranus for me. Matt, I hear water again. And then, so like they took her there and Jajal was like, I don't feel comfortable about this. And Thola's all like, look, if you tried to stop it, you just make her like a fugitive and then the lady would kill her. So you got to back off. And Jajal's like really trying to change and honor the Moonweaver. And it was adorable. And we found out Caldrum's trying to make Nalin some throwing pens out of the arrow crystal, which is so cute. And then Tonk asked Thola to talk to Bingles, and we found out that Bingles is in the Deadlands and that she's scared, which really freaked out everyone because it's Bingles and she's scared. So Tonk went to Nick Adronis to look for his friend from the Velvet Resistance. And they kind of knew about Bingles a little bit. They were like, oh, your gnome girlfriend? Is that who you're looking for? And Tonk was like, and like he found out that she was in the thicket before she headed into the Deadlands. And Tonk was like, why the hell is she in my the thicket? And you found out that he rezzed her mom. She rezzed his mom, who's been dead for a while, and told the mom that you're not done yet. And so, like, they were like, what? I'm sorry, what? What? And so, like, they asked Tonk how he was feeling about his mom being rezzed, and he's like, I don't know. I honestly don't know. And so, like, they took him back. They went back to Darktoe, and, like, T'Jal tried to give Tonk the compass that they got from the Blue Rose, which usually points to where you need to go, and it was spinning wildly, which it's never done before. So they were like, that's creepy. And so they went to the war room, and Tonk like shared everything he learned and about how his mom's been dead for years. And they're all like, oh, she must be worth it, or like maybe she had some unfinished business or something. And Jal's like, maybe he rezzed her so she could get ideas for birthday presents for Tonk. I love you, T'Jal. You're a dumbass. I love you. And then Thola was like, I wonder if she took the dragon. And everyone's like, I'm sorry, what? Because Thola has kept this secret forever and a day that Bingles actually does have a dragon. That is a white dragon. And the appropriate response from everyone at the table was, how the hell do you keep a dragon? And how do you keep it secret in Nick Adronis? It's Bingles. Simon was just confused and kept eating. Tonk needs more information, and he's flustered because two of his favorite women, or most important women, are in trouble. And they're trying to figure out, and Mal really was mad because he wanted to go with them. Yellow Rose compasses are not more reliable. They're more chaotic. And so, like, we decided, like, if we clone Mal, Cass gets the first dibs on him. But Mal has to stay and take care of paperwork. We did say that Simon had to learn to cook because the boy eats too much. Thola was offended because Tonk missed home cooking, and Thola's the cook, so. And then Tonk will be doing the teleporting because it's safe. And for the first time ever in a DM Balo game, we are going to the thicket. So that's this week. I am so itchy. Okay. And right home. So we went to the camp, and we almost died from a mammoth stampede, and we found out that the creepy flying bat creatures are called gloomstalkers. And now we've actually got undercommon signs about, like, they'll kill you if you enter, or they'll take out your ankles. And I 100% want to join the ankle biter. It's not Rothold. Yeah, what do I call it? Rotholm? It's no longer Rothold, but it's that area. Blight Shore. That's the name I should have put. Thank you. Blight Shore. I want to join the ankle biter goblin, so I have a new character idea for later. And then Dizzy offered marriage to the goblin. And then Bram is going to marry one of his kids, her kids maybe. All we have to do is go touch an eye, or we had to go and kill some gloomstalkers, and everyone pretty much voted to go touch an eye. And if we touch the eye, we can have an alliance, otherwise they'll kill us. And Bram is very ugly and gross, according to the Fae and the Goblins, but he's also shady as hell. Andreas might be interested in a marriage, though, to Bram, but dinner first. Dinner first, it's important. I do love that Bram is so shady that he just joined a party while being hunted, like, oh, these people look big and scary, I'll join them. Queen Honeystar is marrying off one of 200 children. That's a lot of unions you gotta... First of all, does the bride's family pay? Because if all 200 of them are girls, that sucks. Although, what would the Fae pay in? Never mind, I don't want to think about it. We went down the tunnels, and they were cold as balls, but also there's acid. And, like, all the tunnels were named really scary things like death and destruction, and then one was, like, eye. So we were like, okay. And I was like, can we touch the word eye? Does it count? I agree, Dizzy. That is 100% the letter of the word. Bran found his bride, and he was like, let's just leave her unconscious. And everyone was like, let's get her conscious. So like we were totally judging you, Bram. It's okay. So they found out her name was Zaknak, and she's like, "Have you killed it?" And they were all like, "Killed what?" And everyone's like, "Well, I guess that's a nope. We didn't kill it yet." And then she talked about some big thing with big tentacles and a big mouth and a woman that wanted to hug you to death, which led into a question: are they interested in marriage or are they pretty? The answer was no to both of those. Dizzy's questions random as hell, and I would trust that method forever. And then the hug lady was too big to hug Brim. And I love that Dizzy's like serving up some cheers because of the peppy backstory and how she like joined the pep squad. I love that. Bram is the most non-barred bard we've ever seen. I love it. Dizzy took down the big lady. And she wanted to give Rip a chew toy, and he thought that was very rude, but I thought it was funny. We looted the body, and we found it a cauldron that had value, but no magic. But now it does have everyone's blood in it, or some people's blood. And we found a staff with an eye, which Bram then asked, "Hey, can you protect me?" We took a short rest with our tiny hut, and Dizzy be Dizzy sending her boy Balin Rumbleguard a message, and I literally spit out my drink when you were like, "Hey, babe!" That was hilarious. And like, "Sorry about killing your kid. Can we be friends?" And he's all like, yes, let's meet so I can bury the hatchet. And Disney took it as, "Yay, we're gonna be friends," instead of he wants to bury that hatchet in you. The red mood staff, aka Little Eye, we didn't know what it did and we didn't care. We found the eye, and Bram of course tried to touch it, and then he tried to kill Zaknak first, but then like I still can't say his name right. It's like Nephi. I can't do it. It's like Nephi or Nethru. I can't say it right yet. I haven't heard it enough to say it right. Was like, "Let me try something," and then like took the staff and was like, dink on the eye, and it was like, because it's an eye on an eye, and so it like what? Nethane? Nalthane. Nalthane. Okay. Yeah, I forgot about that. Disney did take mistake some mammoths for Mortis, which was hysterical because when she asked, like, when she was like, "Did I see my friend?" And Matt's like, "No, your friend's bald." I was like, "Yeah, elephants versus mammoths." That was funny as hell. And then, so we everyone got the eye except for Andres did not take the eye. We used the big lady as an elevator instead of like trying to go through the cold tunnel again. We just like elevated and levitated her body and used it as an elevator, which is really warped but kind of funny. And then we got back to the camp, and Zaknak wanted Rip to marry her, and he noped, and now he's got to go and apologize because he upset his blood brother. But Bram is now a blood brother, and I was like, "Hey, if you see any knights, just kill them." And everyone's like, "That's not how we work." And Bram's like, "Isn't it though? I mean, you did just use a lady as an elevator after you killed her." Anyways, and then Dizzy got a horn, and the Grimshock guy has a horn now too. So Dizzy once a year can call for aid, and he'll come answer, which means Dizzy is part of an army to help save the Feywilds. And that is where we left off. And that was our week in review, guys. I don't think I got anything else. You got anything you need me to add, Matt? We got one opening for a game tomorrow for Monsters of the Week at 2:00. That's all I know. Anything else? Okay. Yeah, Monsters of the Week hype. We're starting some new Monsters of the Week's games, which I'm excited about. Get some more. There's just one opening tomorrow. And it's going to be a 13-week game. So we're doing it like British comedy series kind of thing. Whereas like you get 13 episodes, perfect amount of episodes. So yeah, and if you don't know how to play it, we did do tea time with me and the GM, and we walked through creating a universe so you get a better idea of what Monster of the Week is if you've never played it before. Saturday recap was second on the list because I did Fridays first. That's all I got. I don't know what else to tell you guys. I'm gonna go make a Baba Yaga hut because that's what I want to go do with my life. So we'll see you guys later. Thanks for coming to the art department. I gotta find what I'm looking for. There we go. End screen. Bye, guys.